What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Dojo Talks episode 11. I see I've gone about a month without recording an episode, and that's all on me. Honestly, just no excuses this time, really, just whatever. But I'm back here today. I got a special guest. I know my recent episodes have been a little bit off the sports, but I'm going to get back on the tracks today. I missed out on a lot of different opportunities, but the NBA draft just happened last night. I'm recording this episode Thursday evening and probably going to drop this on a Friday. Let me just check the date, the 20th, just so everybody makes it clear that there could be new information that comes out. Sorry for the takes if we missed that, but nothing we can do. But as I said, getting back on the sports track, I got my man, the State College Philly aficionado, professionado, I don't know, I'm making up words, but we got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Sean Marks. Sean, say what's up to the crowd.
What's up, Dojo Talks? How we doing?
Yeah, baby. How are you doing, man? Thursday evening, Thanksgiving break's coming up.
Just getting ready to go home and get back on the grind,
You got any special trips planned, anything? I guess not because of COVID.
Nah, not really, no.
You see, was it Governor Wolf now going pretty cracking down on stuff?
Yeah, I'm not wearing a mask. He's cracked if he thinks I'm wearing a mask.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know. I mean, cases are going up, but I really don't know. This disease.
Don't
crazy,
care.
But yeah, we digress. So Sean, I thought we'd start off with what happened last night. The NBA draft, virtual. How'd you feel about that? Did you watch any of it? I mean, I'm sure you're a Sixers fan. You guys had a lot of picks, a lot of opportunities.
I watched the whole thing up to the Sixers pick, and the thing that I was really interested about, obviously who the Sixers were going to take, but I was so curious to see where LaMelo would fall.
Yeah, same.
And I just thought it was so ironic. LaMelo is going to the Hornets, who is owned by Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
LeVar,
it's like the GOAT, Michael Jordan, drafted LaMelo. That's kind of cool. I don't know. I always liked that kid, man. Ever since he was a freshman at Chino, that man, he's got swagger. Like he just knows how to handle the ball, all that stuff. I like him a lot.
Their family has a little TV show, and I always watch it. And he's just he is so funny, but he can ball. He's good. He's probably the best ball brother.
Dude, I don't think you're lying in that statement, man. I think LaMelo is.
I mean, even that, Lonzo was the one that had that promise, but he's been shit in the bed. I think LaMelo is going to be the one to spurt and do big things.
The only thing LaMelo, I think his only weakness is his defense, but I don't think defense is more of a skill. I think it's just an effort.
It's a 1-2 thing. It's always a 1-2 thing.
It's like an effort thing. Like if you're gifted as he is, like moving the ball around, like having a high IQ, like being able to run the floor as a point guard, he can do that. I mean, his shot's a little weird, but it kind of falls.
There's two things that scare me, but I think it's something that when you're in the NBA, you can obviously improve if you go about it.
If you have the will.
His shooting and his defense.
Exactly.
When he was playing in Australia with RJ Hampton, he shot 25% from three, which is that's not optimal. So he's gonna have to work on that. But I think he has tremendous upside.
Yeah, I think so too. Going with that, with the draft, one of the things that I noticed. So NFL also had a draft, the whole thing, the whole shebang. Where they, COVID, nobody was allowed, all that kind of stuff through the Zoom and stuff. When I watch the NFL draft, it seems like picks take ages. It's just so long.
And if you notice, so each team first round, they get 5 minutes.
For NBA or NFL?
NBA gets 5 minutes. NFL gets 10 minutes. Not just that, but on top of it, the NFL throws in commercials left and right every 4 picks. So you're just literally waiting there for ages just to hear a dude's name called.
Exactly. And that's what I noticed. I was it was going quick. 30 minutes in, I think we already had 6 or 7 picks. I'm
yeah, it's not even. I think it might be 10 picks.
I understand, you want to give those rookies their time to just take the picture.
But the thing is,
but 10
most
minutes,
of these teams know who they're drafting, and Woj is already out there spilling who's getting drafted.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He did it again, bro. He did it again. Woj is the GOAT.
He no is the lie. GOAT. Woj bombs left and right, man.
No lie, bro. That man is the GOAT. But
Woj
yeah,
that's nukes out last night.
That's the biggest thing. I was just a fan of that. I was just I felt every few moments there was a new pick or a pick was in. Because usually, like, NFL, that's the thing that gets you. Yeah, it's 10 minutes, but, like, it's another 5 minutes that you're waiting. You're like, yo, the pick is in and all that. It doesn't make any sense. I was talking to my roommate, too, and we were talking, and what were we saying? I just lost my train of thought. Someone above me just bumped. I don't know what they're doing. But yeah, with the NBA and the NFL draft, yeah, I literally lost my train of thought. I can't believe that just happened. Live on the show, it happens to the best of us. But we got asked.
Yeah.
Let's keep talking about some of these picks though. Anthony Edwards, were you surprised with him going to 1? Did you think
I'm not
James Wiseman was
surprised,
going
but
to go?
I'm worried for the Timberwolves a bit.
You are?
I don't know if you saw, but he said something about like he made a comment saying, "I just can't watch basketball," and that like I'm a little scared to see if he's going to be motivated or not. He could turn into another Andrew Wiggins, where he's like the talent's there, everything's there, but the drive isn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little scared. I'm a little worried about him.
I just got my thoughts back. We were talking NFL draft. It seems like the first 2 rounds are the longest ever, and then the next rounds go like that. I feel like
bang, bang, bang.
I feel like it should be the opposite. I feel like you should know who your first like few picks are, like who your prospects are.
Here's the catch: they know who they're taking.
I just
They
don't
just prolong it.
I just don't know why they milk it. Maybe it's for the I don't know, man. It is for the money. It probably is for the money.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, Warriors got Wiseman. I thought that's a perfect pick for the Warriors. I mean,
it's a perfect fit.
Now that we know, Klay Thompson, he tore his Achilles. We can get into that in a little bit. But I just want to say, like, before that, with having Steph and Klay coming back healthy, and Wiseman, that would have been fun to watch. But unfortunately about Klay. But they did get Oubre. That just came in 15 minutes before we started recording.
Sam Presti is wheeling in those first round picks, man.
He's wheeling it in. The only other things I want to talk about draft, I didn't really get too much into the prospects, mostly because I wasn't able to see any of them play like in the March Madness tournament. And I think that's like a very big deal, watching players play on that stage, because I feel like regular season, yeah, you can show out, but I feel like March Madness, anything happens, and you kind of see
draft stocks can increase tremendously. You saw DiVincenzo back in 2018 had a great tournament, went high with the Bucks. So
yeah, you see where the men separate from the boys, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that had me scratching my head, I think it was Patrick Williams. He was the 4th pick, and I think he was a freshman, and he had a pretty good season, like, no lie, but I don't think he ever started a game. I think most.
No, he is. Yeah. 6th man of the year.
Yeah, 6th man of the year gets drafted 4th. I mean, I hope it works out for them. But who was that 4th pick? I don't know. Was that the Bulls? I don't know.
Yeah, the Bulls took him. Bulls fans are furious.
Yeah.
I'd be too.
I'd be too. The only other pick I loved was Obi Toppin, and he goes to the Knicks. Knicks finally get a pick that is worth celebrating, which, hey, man, good for them. He was just a beast, though. They were showing highlights of him, and we were all like, I remember when that dude was going off in the beginning of the season for, I think it was Dayton.
Yeah.
And then we could talk about Sixers and Heat. So Heat, we only had 1 pick, the 20th pick. We got this guy, Precious Achua. I can't say his last name yet, but I will.
Yeah.
Pat Riley was high on this, man, and I saw a little bit of workout. Looked like he'll be pretty nice next to Bam, but I don't know. I always trust the Heat. I didn't know who Tyler Hero was, and now he's got a song named after him. So, like, trust the process. And as we get into the process, just talk about the Sixers. Tyrese Maxey, you guys seem to love him. I see him all on the Twitter accounts. But tell me about him. I have no idea. I have no idea about him.
So, dude was an absolute stud at Kentucky, baller, great player. But the thing that really interested me, and I think had a lot of influence on the pick itself, one, him and Ben Simmons worked out a lot over the summer over in Australia. And he's also signed to Clutch Sports, which is, LeBron's agency that Ben Simmons is also signed to. So I love the connections there. And he's been leaked. I saw a report on Twitter the other day. Dude, he's a workaholic. He's in the gym 7 a.m. every day, getting 800 shots up, hits a full body workout, and then after that, 800 more shots up.
I did see
That's the kind of stuff I want to see. That's the kind of stuff Philly sports fans want to see out of an athlete. So I love the pick.
You got any thoughts on your second round picks? Isaiah Joe,
Oh,
Paul
I
Paul
and
Reed.
the best part about this draft, the fact that we were able to take Isaiah Joe where he was, he fell to us so hard because we were going to take him either 21 or 34. Like we had a verbal agreement with him saying, "Hey, listen, we're going to probably take you here." Then we pushed it off because we traded that 34th pick.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nice to see him fall to us because he is a great perimeter shooter. His numbers fell off a bit his senior season, but his junior season he shot about I think 44% from three. And the biggest thing the Sixers need is outside shooting because we have a facilitator like Ben Simmons. So I'm really happy to see us, making these acquisitions like getting Seth Curry, all those guys. Outside shooting, that's all I want.
Yeah, I want to get into that since you mentioned the Seth Curry trade. Sixers also got Danny Green, Terrence
Mm-hmm.
Ferguson, um,
Mm-hmm.
and also what you said, Seth Curry, and all they gave up for him was Josh Richardson, the
A
36th
first and a
pick,
second.
the 34th pick, and Al Horford. Those were, and then I'm pretty sure there was probably
Yes.
little like player whatever. But
Yeah.
basically, you got rid of Al Horford and Josh Richardson for Seth Curry and Danny Green. Now you look at those names, maybe a little bit ago, you would think the
Mm-hmm.
Sixers got fleeced, but
But they didn't. If
but
anything, we
I don't.
fleeced. We
Yeah, I don't think y'all did. Like I think
no,
those
we
are great trades.
anyone with a moral basketball compass knows this was the right kind of stuff the Sixers should have been doing years ago, and that's why I'm so glad that we have Daryl Morey now.
Yeah, that was a
Because
huge
you look at it,
acquisition for you guys.
we gave Al Horford all this money. We paid all this money for a guy that didn't even fit the physique of our basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
He was clogging things up. Now we get a guy like Seth Curry. Now we get a guy like Danny Green who can space the floor, good wing play, can create their own shot, and they can hit outside shots.
Mm-hmm. And even like Seth Curry, he's not afraid to bring the ball up. Like he'll be a
Exactly.
good backup point guard too. But yeah, I really like that. Al Horford, I always thought he fit the Celtics perfectly, and you could.
When he played with the Hawks and the Celtics, he fit that scheme well. And then he
Right.
comes to a scheme in Philly where you have a dude like Ben Simmons who needs floor spacing to fluctuate, to do his thing. And when you have a guy like Al Horford and Joel Embiid both on the court at the same time, that doesn't work.
Yeah, it kind of just like y'all thought Al Horford was your kryptonite, so like you're like, we'll
Yes,
just get him,
we had to snag him.
and like now we're good, but it didn't work out. But I thought those were great trades.
Oh
I
no,
mean,
that I was so happy about that.
I mean, Danny Green did miss that shot. So maybe the clutches is there, but he could
I'm
shoot the
not
ball.
worried. I'm not. Danny Green is a very high percentage 3 point. I think he's 40% for his entire career, which is very good.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about that. I think he'll get his head straight and
I think
make
so
some
too,
shots.
and he'll fit the culture. I feel like he'll like the Philly. That's what the thing is about Philly though. Like you gotta be like thick skin to play
You got
for
to be
those
thick skinned. You got to
teams.
be able to grind.
Hey, you gotta be able to grind. Going on other trades. This one caught my eye. This isn't a big trade. So the Blazers and Rockets. Blazers got Robert Covington,
Mm-hmm.
and Rockets got Ariza, who they later traded for more future first. And they also got the 16th pick. Now the only reason why I bring this trade up, is because the Rockets got some sort of weird thing going on with Harden and Westbrook right now.
Yeah.
And it's like it's kind of like a he said she said
She said.
sort of like situation right now where like Harden and Westbrook, they're boys, but they both want to leave. But the GM stated in an interview and many comments that he wants to keep them together. But you're trading away Covington, who is kind of a big part defensively and being like a body on the Rockets, and
Big 3D guy.
you don't even keep Ariza. But now you're collecting assets. So are you going all in or are you building? Do you care to comment on that? Like,
I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to set themselves up for a rebuild. I don't
yeah.
think Harden's going to be going anywhere personally, but I think Westbrook's going to be shopped to either Charlotte or any other contender. And I think they're just trying to collect some sort of asset to the point where they can get someone that Harden will want to play with. Because there's no way, shape, or form Harden's going to go anywhere.
Yeah,
There's no way.
that's what I thought about the whole Brooklyn thing. But like the other thing is that like you don't need to trade Harden just because Harden like wants to go or whatever. Like doesn't mean you have to trade him. Now, of course, the biggest destination that people are saying is Brooklyn, right? Which would be an insane.
That would not
team.
work.
I don't think it would work either. But like that team would instantly be like would shoot up into like top 3 team in the league, no doubt. Just because when you have Kyrie, James Harden, and KD, that's ridiculous. But But
It
here's,
is, but
I mean, yeah, but that's the other thing too. The
the thing that
jokes
gets me
are
with like if those three are playing together, it's
there's only
not going
one
to end
ball.
well because Kyrie Irving couldn't even play Robin to Batman with LeBron. So how the hell do you think he's going to play that to KD
That's
and James Harden?
that's the thing. Like Kyrie left and was like, I want my own team, and got that in
And then he
Boston,
couldn't do that.
and he couldn't do that. So now he's with KD, and I get the whole KD Kyrie. Like they're still a
I
top
think
five
that
team
could
in the
work.
league. Like yeah, because like Kyrie can still get the ball. Like KD like doesn't need it. He showed that with the Warriors. Like he like doesn't always need the ball in his hands. But I think that would work. I think it'd be deadly. But you add Harden to that mix. I mean, it worked when Harden was young and he was a six man with the Thunder with Russell Westbrook and them. But Harden just wasn't the Harden that he is today. That he's just like an
No,
absolute monster.
I think when you put Harden with those two guys, you're just asking for a mess because that's basically two very ball dominant basketball players, and then a third player that's somewhat dominant but handles the ball for the majority of the
Yeah,
time.
it does. Yeah, I don't think it really makes sense, but I don't know. The Rockets, I got a huge question mark of what their team's gonna look like. Like, because
Yeah.
they're still free agency, so there's still a lot of moves to be made, but it's looking messy. Another trade that happened. This was pretty big. Is Bucks got Drew Holiday in the 60th pick. Pelicans got Bledsoe, George Hill, 24th pick, and a few other picks.
Mm-hmm.
What a trade, honestly, for both squads.
I
Really.
mean, the Bucks went all in.
Yeah, they did. They bought into those Giannis rumors about him going to Heat or Knicks or anywhere, and they're like, nah, we want you to stay, man. I like Drew
But
Holiday.
he might not be staying now.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's also another thing. Just recently, as of today, there's been a huge investigation. You know, with that whole sign and trade deal with.
Yeah.
Now I don't
With
know.
Bogdan.
I was watching some video. Brian Windhorst, he like follows LeBron. He's been covering LeBron for a while,
Yeah,
and
he's a
the
big
NBA.
Cleveland sports
But
analyst.
like I always, whenever I see him on ESPN, he's like the LeBron guy to me at least. And he was mentioning on it, and he said he'd never seen anything like this ever, and like he just doesn't know what side. Because like I guess they're going with tampering because they announced this like 3 days before. Like the trade was at like free agency is supposed to happen. Like I think trades were allowed to happen, but you couldn't sign and trade because technically it's like a free agent signing.
Well, yeah,
So
he was a restricted free agent.
yeah, I don't know. The whole thing's just weird, but like that team would have been deadly. But if that falls through, yeah, you got Drew Holiday. But if Drew Holiday doesn't work, I think the Bucks they're showing right now they're going all in, which is good. You should. Giannis is on his last year of his contract. There's a lot of alluring teams, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, the Heat that want Giannis, and I think Giannis likes that culture. I think he'd fit in beautifully. So yeah, but it's like it could come back and bite you. Like they could very much lose to the Nets or the Heat again, or you just never know. You just
I
never
mean,
know.
the East is gonna be a toss up. It's gonna be a grind.
There's gonna be some teams, bro. So we talked about that. Another big trade that happened. The Suns got Chris Paul. And Thunder got Rubio, Oubre, Ty Jerome, a couple other assets, but Oubre, as we just said earlier, got shipped to the Warriors. So Thunder basically are just they're getting rid of cap and they're piling up on assets. The future first round picks that they have is kind of ridiculous at this point.
They're ready to make some moves.
Yeah, bro, and I mean I'm kind of down for it, bro. I always like Thunder. I always like the OKC Thunder, low key, man. I think they got a nice little spot. But Chris Paul and Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, that team might be kind of a little sleeper, little like 7-8 seed, kind of like a Portland-esque sort of like underdog.
They're gonna be like last year's Dallas Mavericks esque, where they're winning a lot of games against some good teams.
Yeah.
They're gonna squeak into that Western Conference playoffs.
Exactly. They might be able to squeeze into the finals, but I think they're definitely capable of taking a few games from like the Lakers or the Clippers or Nuggets in the first couple of rounds. And then the other trade I have was that the Lakers got Dennis Schroeder and the Thunder got Danny Green, who they later shipped, of course, to the Sixers. I like that trade a lot. I think Dennis Schroeder's a baller. Like, and that's what they needed. They needed a point guard other than like LeBron. When you got Rondo and and Caruso. Like nothing against them, but like Schroeder's, he established himself as he's probably top 20 point guard in the
Well,
league. I
no,
would feel like.
the trade works out so well because more than likely Rajon Rondo is not going to be with Laker next
Yeah.
season. So you get a guy in Schroeder who played behind Chris Paul that last year,
Hmm.
and years before was a backup point guard averaging 17 points.
Yeah.
That's something you don't hear very often.
Yeah, no, he'll definitely fit in very nicely with AD and LeBron for sure. Um, Other things that kind of went around in the league, I was very surprised. Gordon Hayward opted out of his $34 million deal. Um, what? You are not. I guess he was like trying to look for a. I guess he
I
was
think
looking
he's
for
made enough
another
money,
deal.
and he's
I just don't know. Like, if someone's paying me 34 mil, I'm probably staying. But I guess he just. I mean, him on the Celtics just never worked out. He got hurt, unfortunately, like that first game and gruesome injury, but it just never worked out because Tatum and Brown and all of them just kind of accelerated. They just went to a new spot, and there was no really need to have Gordon Hayward. Um, but Celtics, they'll be looking mean if they can get a. I feel like if they can get like a big man, another big, maybe a stretch guy, I don't know, like a Horford-esque kind of player, I think they would be like kind of top seed. I don't know. That could be up for debate. We mentioned Clay towards Achilles. Another thing, like we were just saying with Schroeder, Avery Bradley's now a free agent. I heard Clippers are trying to get him to swing over. I know a lot of other
even
teams.
the Celtics are showing interest
Even
too.
the Celtics getting back there. They also waived Quinn Cook. So they're kind of going all in with Schroeder. I guess Schroeder and Caruso will be their point guards. And then, but also JaVale McGee, Shaqtin' the Fool, 4-time MVP. He also is coming back to the Lakers. So
I love it.
that's all I say about that. So with all that being said, Sean, I'm gonna put you on the spot, but to help you out, I'll give you my top five. Who I think at this very moment, Thursday, November 19th at 9:39 p.m., who I believe the top five teams in the NBA are, and I'll go 1 to 5 right here. 1, Lakers. They just won the chip. LeBron and AD on cloud 9. They just got Schroeder. Like, you got it's just respect. It's just respect at that point. 2, as much as everything that's going on, I gotta put the Bucks. I know they lost to the Heat. I know it's very disappointing, but it's still Giannis who is still has yet to reach the like quote unquote age of prime in the NBA, and he's only gonna get better. And he's gonna be even hungrier now because he saw that his like brother won a chip, and he's like, man, what the heck? He got a chip before me. He's thinking about that low key. He's gonna be grinding. 3, there's still a lot of confusion between Kawhi and Paul George, how they're gonna go in the future. But I gotta put the Clippers at 3. 4, I gotta put the Nets, healthy Kyrie and KD. Like it's ridiculous. And 5, I gotta put my Miami Heat, bro. I think we're sticking with our guns. I know there's little talks about. I don't think a Giannis to Heat deal is gonna happen. This thing, I just don't think it's gonna happen because obviously they're gonna want a pretty nice case for Giannis, but I think that would include Hero, Duncan, or Bam, and I don't think the Heat want to go. I think if they were gonna move on with a player, it'd probably be Duncan, but it doesn't make any sense because he's like one of the most consistent and best shooting 3-point
Well,
shooters.
plus he's a guy you can give him a low salary. You just have him
Exactly.
come off the bench and hit shots.
Exactly. So I don't think the Heat are gonna be making too many big moves, but they're not. They're gonna be signing a lot of 1-and-1s. I feel like, but with team options, just so they're alive for the 2021 free agency market. A couple honorable mentions though. Dallas. I like Dallas. I don't think they're top 5. They're definitely top 10. I don't know if they're 6 or 7 either, but I mean Luka, he's still super young. But they did get rid of Seth Curry. I thought Seth was pretty good for that squad. Denver, they're one of those other teams. Denver and Utah, they're one of those teams that just like they're only gonna get better just with age and experience. I know Klay Thompson got hurt, but Steph Curry is still arguably one of the greatest point guards to touch a basketball, and he's gonna be back and hungrier than ever. And also just the Celtics. That's who I have. So now I bring it up to you. Who do you think
All right.
top 5 teams?
So pre-Clay injury, I would have had the Warriors at 2.
Ooh.
But they're not even in my top 5 now.
Yeah. Fair.
So I'm going to go 1, Lakers, obvious. Greatest basketball player of all time. You got AD, reigning champs. They're hungry. They want more. 2, I'm going with the Clippers.
Okay.
They're pissed. They want revenge. They want to win West. They want to make the finals. 3, I'm going Nets.
Okay.
I think the Nets are going to be good. Steve Nash, great coach, great basketball mind. I think he's going to be able to handle KD and Kyrie well. I think that team does well. 4, I'm going Nuggets.
Ooh.
Once again, that Nuggets team is that they gave the Lakers the work.
They did. They did.
And they worked the Clippers. They got a great team. They have a great team, great head coach. And then 5, I went with the Heat.
Ooh, yes.
They're good.
I like that.
Jimmy Butler is a bucket. Tyler Hero is a bucket. Eric Spoelstra, one of the greatest basketball coaches of all time. They're going to be back at the East Conference Finals more than likely.
I like that. All right. So we talked about everything. We talked about the draft, talked about trades, talked a little bit about players' interests. Let's get to the real reason why I wanted to have you on. 76ers, man. Let's talk about the 76ers. I got a lot of Sixers fans. So if you catch some heat, I'll be sure to send your number to them. So, but I want to hear it, bro, because I want to give a few takes. But I just want to right now. How are you feeling as a Sixers fan? I guess is the first question.
I'll tell you what. Daryl Morey last night did more in 4 hours to improve our basketball team than Elton Brand and Brian Colangelo did in 4 years, and that speaks to the volumes of how terrible our front office and ownership has been since acquiring two superstars, basically. 2 studs, Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I agree.
So last night was A-plus draft. A-plus draft. You get 2 great players in Danny Green and Seth Curry. Great players in the sense that it's what the team needs. I don't care if they're, these star-studded players. If they're going to fit the system and work around 2 all-stars, that's what you want. That's what you need.
Mm-hmm.
And then drafting goes, we got to steal the draft. The fact that Tyrese Maxey fell to us was insane.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a great pick. And then we got our guy, Isaiah Joe. So I'm excited. I think I'm not going to go out here and say that, we're going to win the East and we're going to dominate because, on paper we look good, but we got to play first. But I think we can obviously contend in the East easily.
Okay, so what would you say? I would say my East standings, I know I had Heat as the 5th best team, but my East standings would probably be, I think the Bucks will probably remain first seed.
They're a good regular season team.
Yeah. I'd probably say Bucks, Nets, Heat. Those would be my top 3. But maybe I mean that's all subject to change, obviously. Would you put the Sixers at 4?
I would agree with the first 3. I would go Bucks, Nets, Heat, and then I think 4 and 5 is a toss-up between the Celtics and the Sixers.
Okay.
So I think it's going to come down to a lot of those, because the Celtics and Sixers are in the same division, so they play each other 4 times. Those are pivotal games. A lot of the East Conference games are pivotal games, so they're going to have to do well. They're going to have to dominate in the Eastern Conference and, split in the West in order to hopefully get a 4-seeder or higher, basically.
Okay. This I might get a little controversial here, but Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, you love them. They're untouchable to you. Do you think they're untouchable?
Untouchable.
Both of them.
If they traded them, I would be physically hurt.
Even if Ben Simmons was traded for James Harden.
Don't want James Harden.
You don't want James Harden on the Sixers.
Nah.
You don't think James Harden and Joel Embiid would be a pretty beastly duo?
I don't care if they'd be a beastly duo. I don't understand why we would give up a 24-year-old all-star, first-team all-defensive player with tremendous upside for a 31-year-old that has terrible leadership skills and has proven that he hasn't been able to, take the next hump, turn the corner. I'm not willing to give up assets and a guy like Ben Simmons for someone like that I don't even know what's going to give me.
The only problem is for me with Ben Simmons is the man can't shoot the ball, and he's a point guard. He's afraid to shoot the ball. Like, players have given him the space.
I agree with you.
And I think that's pretty big. If your point guard only made 1 career 3 so far in his how many years he's been in?
All right, listen. The whole shooting thing, I completely understand. And I agree. He needs to shoot more. But I think the thing that was retracting him from doing that all those years is because he didn't have the pieces around him to make him feel comfortable to do the things that he wants to improve on. He was playing in a system where, it's clogged up offensively, and he's trying to go out there and facilitate. And how is he supposed to work on his jump shot, get a little 15-foot mid-ranger when he's got Al Horford sitting on the top, of the elbow or on the wing or on the corner, like now that we have spacing and outside shooting, he might be able to develop that kind of little, like, dribble drive, mid-range jump shot or, a little floater kind of thing.
But you would think that Ben Simmons would know that, and he would work on his three-point shot so we could create more space, because all he does is drive. So, like, if I'm a defense and I'm going against Al Horford, Joel Embiid, and Ben Simmons, yeah, I'm going to clog the lane. So, like, I don't know. I know it's a very sensitive topic. I'm on all 76ers fan, but I feel
listen, it is a sensitive topic, but it needs to be addressed all the time.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, I agree exactly. I'm not going to disagree in any way, shape, or form about what you're saying.
I just feel like, but I'll say this. I say out of Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, I feel like you keep Joel Embiid, personally. And
No.
I would, but who
Joel Embiid, way more injury prone.
Yeah, but who are you gonna get more assets?
And harder
for?
to build around.
Who are you gonna get more assets for? Like, Rockets aren't gonna accept Joel Embiid for.
We would get more assets for Ben Simmons, but I'm not worried about that. Ben Simmons is 24 years old. He's young. He has upside.
Look.
It's easy to build around him because you put shooters and spacing and a good big man. You got a damn good basketball team.
The only reason that I'm really on the Ben Simmons kind of hype is because that man is lockdown defender. That man,
clamps. He's clamps.
That man's clamps. I see him all the time. He's able to clamp up literally anyone that you assign him to, like, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much as he can. And then you got Joel Embiid, like, right in the back. I don't know. When I first heard about James Harden wanting out, I was like, Sixers should bite the bullet and go for him and get rid of Simmons. That's personally or get Harden for Simmons. But
I don't want to give up a guy that is averaging 18, 8, and 8 without a jump shot.
That's fair.
I mean, that speaks volumes.
That's fair. No, that's fair. But it also is James Harden. Like, wouldn't that be hype? Wouldn't that be hype?
You know what? James Harden can hoop and he can get buckets. But the thing that scares me is his leadership, his attitude, and his age. He's getting old. He's 31. Ben Simmons is 24.
Fair. Hey, all fair points, man. All fair points.
Yeah.
I just personally, as a basketball fan and not a Sixers fan, I'm just not on the Simmons hype. Not on the Simmons hype. And that's personally for me. It
doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. I'm on the Simmons hype. It's okay.
Anything you want to touch on as far as NBA, Sixers, anything else, man?
Trust the process.
We kind of talked a good amount about that. I like it, but
yeah.
If you ain't got anything else to say, let's talk about some football, because there's also we won't have to go too into it like we did NBA. We can talk about Eagles, of course. Here's a question for you. I'm a Steelers fan, and I promise I'm all Pittsburgh. As people who don't know, I'm all Pittsburgh, and I went on the LeBron bandwagon in 2010 for the Heat, but I stayed. So I'm like a decade in. So I feel like I'm a decent Heat fan, I would say. Like, I've stuck around for a decade, but I'm all Pittsburgh fan. Steelers are obviously, to my surprise, we're undefeated. Do you think, like, I see the Chiefs are number one in the league? Do you think Chiefs are number one, or do you think Steelers are? And
it's tough for me to evaluate that.
And then, like, what I was kind of getting into is, do you think the record is all just like a show? Do you think the Steelers are that good, or?
I think. All right, I'm gonna give you the Steelers. I'm gonna give you a spiel on the Steelers.
Yeah, please, enlighten me.
They haven't been playing the best of teams.
Fair.
But at the end of the day, in the NFL, it doesn't matter who you're playing. It's any given Sunday, and a win is a win.
Yeah, fair.
And in those games, their defense, they've bent but haven't broken. And they're playing really good football. And I think at the end of the day, if you have a defense that can shut down an elusive, explosive offense like, per se, the Chiefs, and your offense can, do a little something, you can compete in football games. And I think that's why the Steelers are up in the neck of the woods with the Chiefs. I don't think they're there yet because the offense scares me,
Hmm.
but I think the Steelers are a pretty good football team.
I think every Steelers game I've watched, it always starts off our D is very strong, and then we kind of like dwindle a little bit, and our team start to get back in. But fourth quarter comes around,
Mm-hmm.
and we just have those playmakers. Whether that's T.J. Watt making a big sack, Hayward getting up in there playing smash mouth. Um, we got corners like Nelson and Hayden like putting in work, and then you can't talk about Steelers defense without talking about Minka Fitzpatrick. Like the dude.
Or T.J. Watt.
Yeah. So like when it comes down to those plays that we really need, our defense makes it. Now I do agree. Our offense is a little shaky, and to be honest, it starts with Big Ben. Big Ben hasn't really. I think besides the last few games, he hasn't really shown like really great quarterback play. He's been playing good. He's been playing good enough, obviously, because we're still undefeated. But he hasn't played what we're expected because his offense is also filled with weapons. I mean, you got Juju, Deontay Johnson. They're calling him like Little AB. You got Chase Claypool. They're calling him Mapletron, like after Megatron. James Conner's still one of the most like uh, running backs that you want. Smash up the middle. He can block. Eric Ebron. I know he doesn't catch a lot, but he does make good catches. And Vance McDonald. So he has the weapons, and he should be performing better. But whenever I see Mason Rudolph check in, I just want to like puke in my mouth. I hate Chase. I hate Mason Rudolph
Yeah,
so much.
he's bad.
I am not a fan. That's all. I just want to ask if you think Steelers are posers or not. I think who do we play? Who do we play this weekend? We play the Jaguars. We play the Jaguars. We actually have a very easy schedule, which I thought we weren't, but a lot of these teams kind of no showed. We got Jaguars, Ravens on Thanksgiving. The football team, the Bills will be a good game, and then Bengals, Colts, and Browns. So Steelers could very well go 16-0.
Yes.
Like
You
very
guys
much
lucked
so.
out
Yeah,
playing the NFC East.
yeah, we did, and that is. Let's get into the NFC East, the most embarrassing division in football this year, man. It's kind
Yes.
of ridiculous, man. So
It's kind of sad.
it is really sad. I mean, Dak Prescott, who knows how Cowboys would have been? Dak Prescott, I mean, I don't like Dak Prescott, but the man was balling. And the way he got hurt, especially trying to show himself for a contract year, it kind of stinks. But
Oh no, I mean the amount of things that dude's gone through the past couple of years. As much as I'm not a fan of him, I respect him, and
you
it
have
hurts to
to.
see something happen to an athlete like that.
You have to. But I don't think Cowboys are gonna. I think the Eagles are gonna win it. Um, Now I
I
don't know.
hope
I don't know
so.
what their record. I think they might win it 7-8-1. I think they might win it on that. Um, but I think they'll get knocked out early. But just talking about the Eagles a little bit, man. Like I don't know where to put. I don't want to point the blame at Carson Wentz because he's throwing to practice squad members. But
I
also that man, like whenever I watch him play, I wish he would just throw the ball out more instead of forcing a
it's
play. You know.
the Carson Wentz dilemma right now. It's boggled, and if you're not an Eagles fan, you're kind of always just gonna point and say, "Oh, this dude's overrated. This dude ain't it," all this stuff. But there's a lot that goes into it, and I'm gonna give you a little timeline per se.
Please, please.
So 2017, he has that breakout year. Basically, was the MVP until he got that ACL injury.
Mm-hmm.
That year, we had Frank Reich, offensive coordinator, and then the Filippo. He was our QB's coach. After that season is over, Dave Filippo is the OC of the Vikings. Frank Reich becomes the coach of the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Those Frank Reich and the QB coach were what molded Carson, what made him like really. It wasn't Doug, it wasn't anyone else. It was those two guys. And ever since they've left, I've seen Carson Wentz play regress, and I think it's starting to become a mental thing for him. He just doesn't have the mental confidence because right now the Eagles don't even have an offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Doug Peterson and a barrage of other offensive coaches game plan, and then he calls the plays,
Mm-hmm.
and he is terrible at it. Carson Wentz does so much better when he's on the move, when he's outside the pocket, and they're out here, making him sit in the pocket, make these quick throws, make these in air throws, and it just doesn't work, and it's falling on him. and it doesn't help that he doesn't know how to get rid of the ball, and he's throwing useless interceptions,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's getting all the blame and all the hate. And it's warranted right now, but I think for him, a lot of it's mental, and I think we need to get the right guys in the right position, like we did in 2017 for Carson Wentz to get back to the regular Carson Wentz that we know.
What are your thoughts on Jalen Hurts?
I, oh my god, dude. When I'm talking about mental, why in the right mind would you draft someone like Jalen Hurts to put behind Carson Wentz? Like, how does that give your quarterback any confidence?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that you could have drafted someone like a receiver, a running back, a lineman in that spot, even a linebacker. Hell, we need linebackers, but they decided to draft a backup quarterback just for shits and giggles, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. And then we'll use Jalen Hurts, but we won't take Carson Wentz out. So you obviously know what's going to happen here. It's going to be a Jalen Hurts read option, Jalen Hurts QB keeper. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, and also it seems like whenever they throw Jalen Hurts out there, he just like seems like confused and shit because like
like he doesn't know what the hell. He's fumbled the ball like 3 times off the snap.
Because like all he's doing it like this, it's just the same plays like you said. So I don't know. I was very confused about that. I know you guys drafted that JJ. I don't even know his name, but
JJ Arcega-Whiteside. Good lord.
Yeah, and especially with the wide receiver class that we had this year, kind of looks very embarrassing.
This year and last year. Yeah. He passed on DK.
Yeah, DK is a monster. I can't believe Russell got him. That's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of fingers to blame, but I think you brought up some good points, man. Like when those like little coaches, people don't think that's a big deal, but it's a huge deal when your offensive coordinator and QB coaches and all that they leave and go to a different team. Like it's huge.
Like the common like a common football fan with decent football knowledge, like, oh, Carson Wentz played really good in 2017. Like it must have been all Doug. It wasn't Doug.
Yeah.
Doug is like the overseer. It was the OC, the QB coach. They were helping mold this guy, develop this guy, giving him so much knowledge, and then they leave, and then he starts to regress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look, man, I don't know.
There's some big changes that need to happen, and for me, I need to see Howie Roseman. He needs to go.
You think so?
Like he's got to get out of town. Jim Schwartz, terrible defensive coordinator. I've had enough of his shenanigans. He's got to get out of town.
Yeah.
I mean, you see guys defense. If we're gonna talk about defense, you see guys. We have guys like cornerbacks, Sidney Jones, Rasul Douglas, 2 guys that just looked like absolute dog crap in our system. They leave, they get signed to a different team, and they are just balling.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes. So what's going on in Philadelphia. It's more coaching than it is what they have in the office, in the locker room.
I think you're right. Going on with corners, man. What are your thoughts on Jalen Mills? Yeah, Jalen Mills, bro. I'm not a fan at all.
It's a mixed relationship.
I know y'all Philly fans like love him, and I know he loves y'all, but like I just feel like he's always getting burnt. Like
he's something else. I love the guy. I truly think he gives it his all, and that's all you want out of a Philly fan, out of any fan. You want the guys that are getting paid millions, bust their ass. But sometimes the dude just looks at it. He doesn't have a clue sometimes.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Just kind of wrap up my thoughts. NFL as a whole, I think as of right now, like I said, I think in the AFC Championship we'll probably see Steelers and Chiefs, and I think in the NFC I think we'll see Hawks and Packers. I like the Saints and Bucks. Don't get me wrong. I just think
I like the Cardinals too.
Cardinals. I mean, Kyler Murray's starting to figure it out with D-Hop. Like, what a snag that they were able to get D-Hop. Like, that was crazy.
Nuts.
That's crazy. I'm just pissed because a fantasy football fan, and I have Kendrick Nunn on my Kendrick Nunn. Oh my God, Kenyon Drake on my squad, and the dude's been bun sauce. I'm just mad about that. So I don't even want to talk about the Cardinals, but no, yeah, they're good. I don't know. I was talking to my one friend Ben I had on Dojo. We had a good talk, but talking to Ben, he's a big Tom Brady fan, so he went over to the Bucs side. Yeah, but we were talking a little bit last night, and I think Tom Brady's got this year and next year. If he doesn't win this year, I think he'll go one more, and I think everybody will kind of know it's like his last tour. Maybe he'll announce it and do a little Kobe thing, but like, Uh, I don't. I don't. I think Brady's done. Not. He's got all the weapons in the world. Like I saw some stat. You got Godwin, Mike Evans, and Antonio Brown. Yet they're one of the
And
leagues.
Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah, but they're one of the league's lowest in targets to wide receivers. I think it's like only 50 some
Mm-hmm.
percent. And you got like three literally all pro wide receivers. And I don't know. I think he needs to utilize them a little bit more. I think their defense is playing out of their minds, but I think that's because they have Tom Brady. They're like, yeah, like let's win, man. We got the goat. Like
Well,
let's
it's always funny
go
how
crazy.
Tom Brady. The thing that gets me about Tom Brady, not the biggest fan. I respect him, but I think wherever Tom Brady's been, New England, Tampa Bay, everything around him was phenomenal, and all he had to do was like
Do his
just make some easy
just
passes,
do his
dink
job.
and dorings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and he's in probably one of the like best situations too, like right now. Besides like when he
Oh
had
no,
like
for sure.
Moss and like Wes Welker and all them. But like the situation he has right now is like kind of unfair. Like imagine if you had like I don't know, like Pat Mahomes or like Deshaun Watson or like another one of those young and up and coming quarterbacks on that squad. I think they would also be undefeated. I know they're in a little bit of a
No,
tougher
if
schedule.
Patrick Mahomes was on the Buccaneers, I think that team would probably run any team they play like 60 points
Yeah,
on average.
it'd be literally ridiculous. But yeah, that's funny. Um, that's all I got to say about NFL. You got anything else to say? Anything else you want to get off your chest?
Tom Brady's a system quarterback.
All right. I still think he's the goat though. I mean
I don't.
as much as I know it, I hate to say it because I'm a Steelers fan, and you know how many games we should have won, aka that Jesse James catch game where we probably should have won that
That was
game.
ridiculous.
There's been so many times, but like I feel like you just got to appreciate greatness. There's only one.
He's a very good quarterback, and he has the rings, but those are team accolades.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's a
That's
good
where
point.
that's where I think when you look at the LeBron MJ, it's kind of like looking at a Tom Brady versus Montana/Rogers, where it's like the accolades versus the just the raw talent, the raw greatness.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I think another thing to add on that, if I were to start a basketball team, first pick, I'm going LeBron. I don't think
100%.
I don't think I would I don't think I would pick
People
Tom
forget
Brady as my number
when
one
MJ
quarterback.
was drafted, they said the GM was like, listen, we drafted this guy. We don't think he's gonna do anything like super big. We kind of just want him here. We think he'll be a good role player. He'll be able to put up decent points.
Yeah, then he put in the work and became the GOAT.
The second greatest player of all time.
Yeah, I still think. I mean, I got much love for LeBron, um, but as a man, I just think he needs to win one more. If he wins one more, I think there's
Mm-hmm.
literally no
And
argument.
it's feasible. It's very
Because
feasible.
the only argument I only hear from Jordan haters is or from LeBron haters and Jordan lovers is one, he doesn't have enough rings, and two, he doesn't show up in like like clutch moments. That clutch
Which
moments
is false because he has
argument,
more game winners than MJ.
yeah, that I think that's argument's bullcrap. But the only thing that you could pinpoint on LeBron's career that he totally effed up on his own
Was the Dallas
was the
Mavericks.
Dallas Mavericks finals thing, and
Yes,
that's
and
like the only yeah.
anytime I talk to an MJ fan or we just talk the debate in general. Listen, I will never argue that he choked. He simply choked.
Yeah, against a team that he really shouldn't have. After he went
But
off,
then again, props to that Mavs team because they swept the Lakers in the West Conference Finals. They beat the Nuggets. They went through a very sturdy Western
and the
Conference path,
Spurs
and then they took down LeBron.
and the Spurs, they beat the
Yep.
Timmy D and Tony Parker Spurs.
No, that team was unbelievable.
Yeah, bro, they were nice. They were nice. But yeah, I think personally that I can be like I'm like 99.9 right now with LeBron being the GOAT. It's just that point one is just that I just think he needs one more because I know championships
I,
shouldn't matter as much as they do, but they should.
but I think if he has
have
five,
some
I think
sort
that just looks and sounds better.
it does. And also like the fact that he went what was it 8 straight years 9 straight years to the finals. Who's doing
Nine
that?
straight finals, 10 overall.
Yeah, who's
Or
doing
eight
that?
straight and then a break and then Yeah.
Who nobody's doing that. He like ran the
No. See,
2010s.
and the thing is, like, when people talk to LeBron MJ, all they talk about is those 6 years he had of just pure greatness, which you have to respect.
Yeah.
But you got to look at the years before and the years after, where he was getting bounced in the first and second round,
Mhm.
where he made the playoffs at 32 and 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of stuff that people don't talk about, and I think that speaks volumes to the world we live in today, with like media's here left and right talking about LeBron every other day.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And also like the team that the Bulls had, like they had some good role players on that squad. Like I'm pretty sure they still made the playoffs with Scotty as like a second.
No, yeah, well, they were
No.
MJ was 1-9 without Scotty, and then when MJ went to play baseball those 2 years, the Bulls went like 55 and 31, and then like 54 and like 32. Like, they had really good records. It's basically similar to what they had when Jordan was on the team.
Yeah. Scotty was probably arguably one of the best wingmen to have. Argue.
He was the best Robin
Yeah, I think he
of all
was.
time.
I think he was.
And he was like, when you look at like those like 6, 8 years when Scotty was playing great basketball, he was probably the second best player in the league, right next to Jordan.
Yeah, that could be up for argument, but yeah, I think so. I mean he just like everything that Jordan could score the ball. He's probably arguably one of the like best scoring players of all time. I think Jordan. But like as far as like going after loose balls and like playing hard defense, I don't want to like discredit Jordan, but like that's where Scotty shined. Like he was just like
Scotty did all the dirty work.
Yeah, he did all the dirty work.
Everything
You gotta
besides
respect
points,
that.
Scotty led.
Yeah,
So,
and you got to respect that.
and you also have to forget, well, people always, nagging on LeBron for not taking a shot. When LeBron is a facilitator at heart, there were times Jordan kicking out the curve for the game winner in the finals.
Yeah.
Paxton in the finals. Like, people just think Jordan was that almighty tough, which he was,
Mhm.
but so is LeBron, but he doesn't get the credit for it.
Yeah. No, yeah. I feel you 100%, brother. I feel you 100%. All right. We went pretty wild with the sports. Anything else you want to say about the sports world? Anything at all? Sportsed out.
Nah, not really.
Sportsed out.
Sports out, man.
Sportsed out, man. All right. As you know, as the fans know, as you know, as a listener, I usually end the episode talking about like music, TV shows you've been watching, anything you're hyped for, anything in the culture, any funny memes or something, anything you've been listening to recently, watching recently, anything you want to like plug,
So, for all my music people,
Yeah.
if you haven't listened to Chippy Redd's new album,
I haven't.
came out a couple weeks ago, very good. Really liked it. I'll give 3 songs I really enjoyed. Spaceships with Young Thug,
Okay.
Never Change with Future, and then Chippy Red 666 with Sway Lee. Great songs.
Big fan of Sway Lee. You listened to the Future and Uzi?
Yeah, I love that. It was really good.
You did?
Yeah.
I mean, I like 4 songs. I'm looking at it right now. Real Baby Pluto was good. I thought that was probably one of my favorites. There's a few others, but I don't know. I was kind of like I was super hyped for it.
You gotta just keep listening to it. It grows on you.
I think you're right. Which is why like I don't really want to give too much of an opinion because I only listened to it like once through. I know 2 Chainz dropped an album, but I haven't listened to that yet.
Yeah,
should get
I'm not
around.
a big 2 Chainz. I'm not jumping out of my bed listening to 2 Chainz.
I mean, I am low key. I like 2 Chainz. Cuffing season has pulled a cloud over me. As people who don't know, cuffing season is the season of which that starts, I believe, Hollow Weekend, and extends all about to Valentine's Day. It's when the weather.
Because pre-Hollow Weekend is like tryouts. And
Yeah.
you start looking at the prospects.
Yeah. And it usually goes around this time because the weather gets colder. It's the holiday season. The Netflix starts coming out more. You're staying inside, not really going out, and you want like a little boo thing. So cuffing season
You know,
once
a little
again,
shoddy.
yeah, a little shoddy, and so it's again come over me. So I've been listening to a lot of Michael Bublé, kind of getting away from the trap.
Okay.
And I listened to the Love album, such a great album. So I thought I'd promote that. as my music album. But another album I'm waiting for. I'm actually growing out my mustache in anticipation. Drake is dropping Certified Lover Boy in January 2021. I'm super hype about that. I heard a few leaks of the songs that are supposed to be on the album, and this thing is gonna be gas. And in the cuffing season mode, Certified Lover Boy. Like, you kidding me, Drake? You kidding me? Starting off 2021 after 2020 with a horrible year, maybe giving us a platinum album, uh, to start off the year. I'm hyped for it. So those are my two excitements, as far as the music world.
I have a quick question for
What's
you.
up? What's up?
What exactly? It's I might not know the lingo. What exactly does certified lover boy mean?
Dude, no idea. It's kind of he's like too old to be using that. It's kind of
It
cringy.
sounds kind of sus.
Yeah, it does. I agree. I
Like, is
agree.
he certified liking boys,
Nah, I just think
or
that I think he's like the certified lover boy.
like chicks love him because he's certified lover boy? Like,
Yeah, like he's like getting with the chicks and he gets chicks and like he
okay,
wheels girls.
I was looking for like a second hand kind of opinion. I was a little
Yeah,
confused.
I just think that because most Drake songs like he be talking about girls, bro, which is fine. Which is
Hmm.
fine. He said, and I quote, he said, "I don't make music for dusty boys. Like I make music for like guys who get, get action." So,
Get after it, yeah, get
so
after it.
so and most of the song, you got like Marvin's Room, Feel No Ways, like uh Doing It Wrong, like all these different, like all these songs, uh even like extending to like Squirtby and shit. Like he's got songs that are pretty soft, aimed for the like for the woman. So I don't know, maybe this is gonna be a little soft album. I don't know, maybe it's gonna be
That's
hard.
where
I'm excited.
that's where my guy Young Thug comes in as well.
Ooh,
Young Thug is a he gets the woman.
slime language too, right? That's dropping soon.
Slime Language 2, Black Friday.
I saw
Get your headphones ready.
I saw he deleted all his posts on the gram.
Yep. You
Yeah, so
already know it's coming.
you know it's coming. That's next Friday, right?
Yes, it is.
Dang, bro, dang. I'm hyped for that. Hyped for that. Oh,
I
also,
am
I think Travis Scott's dropping an album next year too.
good.
Yeah, and then we're still waiting for Kanye's like 5 albums or however many albums he's sitting on to
Yeah.
drop,
That dude
which
is
he
something
never
else though.
will.
He's still a little heartfelt after the election, but he'll recover.
Yeah, bro, Kanye 2020. That's so funny. Um,
And for all you on the notion of the cuffing, if you guys need a good album with some, very heartfelt,
ooh, yeah.
rap like songs, my boy Young Thug he has an album called Beautiful Thugger Girls.
Ooh,
These
okay.
songs will get you in the mood.
Get you in the mood. Isn't that that's the one with relationship, right?
Yeah, dude, relationship, for y'all, feel it, do you love me? I'm telling you, man.
I
For
like
all
it.
of the Dojo viewers out there, Beautiful Thugger Girl is one of the greatest albums to ever scorch this planet.
Stamp it. You heard it here first. Sean Mark's approval right there. You been on the quarantine? We've all been watching like on Netflix and stuff, all the streaming stuff. You got any shows or anything you've been
Hmm.
watching?
Yeah, I've actually I popped onto the Trailer Park Boys wave. I've been grinding Trailer Park
Ooh,
Boys.
yeah, bro. Yeah, I went through a little phase of that. It's hilarious. It's so
I love it,
funny.
dude. I've been watching like they have like series where they'll go to the United States or they'll go to like another country, and it is the funniest thing.
So funny. Um,
Who's your favorite
Ty,
character, by the way?
in that probably Bubbles, bro. I like Bubbles.
Bubbles, dude.
Or probably like Ricky's funny too, but Bubbles is just
Bubbles Leahy's goaded.
yeah, Leahy, bro.
He
Yeah,
pounds liquor.
it's so yeah, bro. A show I've been watching with my roommate, who Ty. We've been watching this show
Yes.
called Mind Hunters. It's
Ooh.
it's kind of like it's about these two FBI agents and they just interview serial killers and they like don't want to like get them more in the crime. They just want to learn more about like their behavior, like the why they did it.
Mhm.
So and like they're trying to find like different contexts. Like they like would literally go interview like I'm sure I don't know if you're educated on the serial killer realm, but like Ed Kemper. Um, they interviewed Charles Manson. He never murdered anybody per se, but he had that whole family. I'm sure you know who Charles Manson is.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
just like a lot, like Son of Sam, just like a lot of different people. But it's so good. I recommend everybody watch that. And then I went through all the Star Wars movies, the 1 through 6, not any of like the new ones they made, but all the George Lucas ones. So that was fun. But other than that, that's really been it with me as far as the
I
whole.
picked up. Me and my roommates actually picked up on another show. It's called New Girl.
Oh,
Very good.
oh! I heard that's a little bit of a chick show.
It, okay, okay. Listen,
Ain't
you
nothing
want
wrong
to
with
hear?
that. I
I'll
just
tell
want
you
to
right
say,
now.
ain't nothing wrong with
I'll tell
that.
you straight up. Kind of just we would we'd eat dinner and throw it on. I just kind of get into it. The main chick, Jess, hate her. She is annoying. But there's a girl named Cece who dates a guy named Schmidt, and she is gorgeous. She's the reason I watch that show.
Hey man,
For all my New Girl fans out there, you know who Cece is.
I love it. The little TV crush. You gotta have that. I love it.
You have to have a TV crush.
I love it, bro. I love it. Um, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say, man. You got anything else you want to plug, like the gram, Snap, anything? This is your time. I'll give you 30 seconds. Say what you want to say, Sean.
I don't know. You're putting me on the spot here.
I
I don't know
am,
what to
bro. I
plug.
always put people on the spot. I don't know anything you got to
God.
say. This is your 30 seconds to just talk to the people right now.
What I gotta say? Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. This is tough. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give just a little, a little motivation advice. I know people, school's tough to, worry about and like you all this crap going on. But you just gotta put your head down and trust the process and grind. Just do you. Don't worry about the outside noise.
That's beautiful. That's perfect, man. I love it. I love it. All right, so that caps our Dojo Talks episode 11 with Sean Marks. Trust the process. Keep your head down. Keep grinding. Sean, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you so much. And
It's been an honor.
I hope for a few more of these down the road, eh?
Oh, we better. I might have to start up my own little podcast on the side.
Hey, there we go. There we go, baby. All right, man. Thank you so much. All right. Peace,
Appreciate
everybody.
it.
Peace.